back to Royal Blu FX. In today's video, we're going to talk about trading news in general. Now, the previous 3 videos we were talking about how to trade NFP news, right? But in today's video, we're really just going to talk about trading news in general, which means essentially the way, what type of news you'll be following exactly, and so forth and so on. This video isn't going to be very complicated. It's going to be very short and sweet, actually, so we're just going to go right to it. So before you look at the charts, right, what you need to do just about every single day is look at your news calendar. Now, how do you find your news calendar? Your news calendar would be on your, right here. You would go to forexfactory.com, okay, /news. Is where you want to be looking at. So let's go over here. We're going to go to the calendar right over here, and we're going to be seeing all this right now. So don't get overwhelmed too quick. This is going to be very simple and easy for you guys to follow. So the way I look at this essentially is I go on forexfactory.com, and then right here you can see on your left hand side here, you can see that there's the dates, right, and the days right here: Sunday, December 3rd, Monday, December 4th, right? And what you want to be doing is looking here at these folders. Now, these folders represent the type of the strength of the news, okay? And essentially, what yellow is, this yellow folder is, it's the weakest news. So that's the yellow news, the weakest news. Then you have the orange news, which is to middle. It's middle news, not that strong, but it is strong somewhat. And then you have the red news, which is the strongest. Okay, so now apart from all these 3 folders, the only ones I trade is the red folder. The red folder is where all the biggest news comes out. And why do you want to trade the biggest news? Because that's where all the biggest money comes in, right? Or at least a lot of the impulses that you see in the markets. So when you see yellow folders, it typically has small news or barely any news in it. The candles barely move. However, on the red, they move quite impulsively. And sometimes on the orange folders, news does move, but ever so often. Okay, so the way to filter all this out is you're gonna go here on the top right corner, right over here where it says filter, and click filter, and then you're gonna go right here and deselect the orange and the yellow. Okay, now what you could also do is you can choose what type of currencies you want to follow, what currency news you want to follow, right? So for example, I want to be following, since I only trade US 30 isn't here, but let's just say I want to trade I want USD news, which is the biggest, which we're going to talk about in a second, and only have USD. And let's just get rid of, where is it? This is the Chinese one, usually you can't CHF CNY right there. You want to just deselect that one and never get news for that unless you like to trade the yuan or whatever. Other than that, you just want to trade the majors, right? Most of the time, so yeah, anything that is paired, or let me, before going further, this is what you want to do, right? Event types, essentially all these events occur on the news and that affect the news, right? Affect the market, excuse me, and push prices bullish or bearish quickly. So you want to be following everything here: growth, inflation, employment, central bank, right? Bonds, everything moves the market. So once we have this set, you can just say apply filter, and then now you can see here how this is a lot better, because what you're going to do here now is, rather than seeing all that noise, you're just getting everything in a simple and simplistic way. You're just getting all this right here from the dates, right, and the times. So timing, how do you set this up, right? Because a lot of you guys maybe, you guys are in other parts of the world, right? I'm in Los Angeles, therefore what I would do is go right here where it says, not here, right here, the timing. It says 2:59 p.m. You're going to click that, right? It's going to direct you to this, and what you need to go is right here on the time zone. Since I'm not Eastern, I'm actually Pacific time, US, right there. So I'm Pacific time, right? That's me, right? So find your time zone and select it, and then you don't need to worry about this. Just say AM, PM, and that's all you need, and then save changes. And then from now on, the news will show you everything based on your time, right? So essentially, like right now, it's 12:02 p.m. here, right? So there was news that just passed on today at 11:30 p. Excuse me, it's not 11:30 p.m. Why does it say? Excuse me, it is. Excuse me. This was yesterday. This is today. Today is Friday the 8th. Okay, so today at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, I was sleeping at the time, which I should have been awake, but all this news just went by, right over here. You can see non-farm payroll. We're going to talk about all the type of newses that are more effective than others whenever there's a red folder. Sometimes there's a red folder that is not as effective as it should be, and it's usually when like governors are speaking or something. They're just announcing something. They're speaking. They're not necessarily. It doesn't say something like non-farm employment change, which we'll talk about. Which these are the big ones right here. Okay, non-farm and then unemployment rates. These are always big, but we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, so right here it clearly states that it's December 8th, 5:30 a.m. is when the news happened. Right at 7 a.m. Also news happened right here. And that's all for today, right? So if you were to trade news and you say, okay, I want to trade because I know when news happens, when price moves impulsively or bearish, right, based on news, right after news happens, that's where a lot of the money flows, right? So, and that's when the banks are active. A lot of people don't trade news because price tends to move very volatile, right? But that's where a lot of the money is. So if you want to be where all the money is, wait for news to begin, right? To release. Once news is released, then you act on the market, right? You start trading the market because there's a lot of volume, a lot of money infused in each impulsive move, right? So having said that, that's all you essentially need to know about news is just the filters, right? The red folders, and that's it. And then if you follow the last 3 videos, right, essentially you can act based on the trading all these news the way I was teaching you guys on the other 3 videos, right? So just to kind of give everybody a quick quick refresher here, right? Let's just say prices were bullish here at some time, right? And so let's say prices at this high, we're following order flow, prices breaking structure, right? When news happens, when it opens, it'll run, right? Either bullish or bearish. But we know we would take price at the next demand zone here, right? And then continue bullish like this, because once price impulsively pushes to the bearish side like this, right? We know that we're waiting for price to arrive to this demand zone. And it's important because we know we can take a buy here, not when price pushes, not when news opens up quick, but right after news opens up quick, we know where to strike from next after, right? So all this after this buy, everything will be very liquid here. There's gonna be so much money that price leaves because the banks are active on the news, right? So that's just one of the ways that I really like to trade and make money on news essentially. All right, so let's go back here and let's talk quickly about the type of news you want to trade. So a lot of the news you're really going to ever be trading is what's called CPIs. CPIs are very, very effective, and you can backtest this, and I'll show you how to backtest this, how to check this out, because I'll show you in a second actually, but CPI is very effective, cash rates are very effective, RBA statement management are effective, ICM services, these are all good right here. The job openings may or may not be, actually they are actually very effective, right? I'm going to show you guys a list. You may be able to download it on this video that I release it, but I'm going to show you guys a list where you guys can just copy and then have that list for future references. GDP is always good. That's great. Something like this, when government Bailey speaks, something like this is not effective. You want to stay away from that. You can backtest this obviously, but I'm going to tell you honestly, I backtest this on my own. It's not as effective as you'd think. Non-farm payroll or employment change is always good. These are always effective. Okay. right? Everything from here, unemployment claims, overnight rate is nothing. This may be something. All this is effective. This is effective, and this is not that effective. So anyway, so let's go do some back testing right now. What we're going to do is we're going to do this, and we're going to say, okay, we want to go on Sunday, December the 3rd. Okay, Sunday, December the 3rd. I'm going to show you guys how this works. So we're going to go. Excuse me, let me go to the CHF pairs. Now, before I go any further, one thing I do want to mention, I know I'm kind of bouncing off the walls from here and there, but anything you see USD paired with, if you see in the USD currency, it's the most effective news. So anything with USD and the red folder is essentially really, really effective. And that's not to say that Euro is not effective, right? But if you're pairing Euro with USD, it's also effective. If you're pairing USD with CAD, it's effective. But sometimes with CAD and JPY, it may not be effective, or CAD and AUD may not be effective, okay? Because the biggest news always comes from the States, from America. So that's all I need to say for that. But let's go over here. Now this is CHF here. Okay, CHF, Swiss franc. We can test this out actually, because CPI is for every country has a CPI, and that means that this is going to be a very effective news. Now let's go to my screen. Sunday, December 3rd. We're going to go to CHF. Sunday, December 3rd. Let's go to any CHF pair. Okay, just to show you guys, you can go to you can go here, or let's go to USD. It'd be better if it was USD CHF. Let's see, where is that? USD CHF. Right there, I missed it. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do this. All right. We're going to close that up. And we're going to go to here. And we're going to type in, I forgot what the date was, December 3rd, okay, of Sunday. So that was December 3rd, Sunday, excuse me, that's wrong. I don't know why this says Sunday. Oh, because, okay, on Sunday this was open, but my brokers aren't open on Sunday, so we're going to skip that. Let's go actually to AUD. Let's go to AUD Monday, December 4th, right here. So we're going to go to AUD USD, which would be somewhere right there. Okay, AUD USD is right there. Okay, close that up. And we're going to open up the calendar. And then we're going to go to 7:30 p.m. AUD. Okay, so this happened 7 p.m. my time. Let me just get this here because I don't want to change. I need to have it to Los Angeles, not New York time. So there we go. All right, so what you guys want to do is go to your calendar right now. Go to 4 on the 4th, right? Because that's when news open. We're going to go right here and we're going to go to 17:30 because that is 7:30 p.m. Excuse me, not 17:30, it's 19:30 right here, right? And that's 7:30 p.m., right? That's military time, so we're going to do this, right? And right here, clearly you can see news dropping, right there. So we're going to go right to this, right here, just to show you that this is very effective, and this is where a lot of the money is. So again, you can trade the middle, which is really the right when news starts, right? You can have a sell stop or a buy stop for price to run either direction, where you can be profitable, or you can just wait for news to release and then buy once price opens up. Okay, so we're going to go all the way down to the 3 minute, right? And let's just say you did all your due diligence on your breaks of structure, right? You're following all your breaks, right? And your mitigation processes, your break mitigation, right? And then here is where we can look for prices to come to. Now, right there is a supply zone, right? So let's just pretend price opened up. It's ready to open up, right? So it's 1927. We have 3 minutes before price approaches. We have 2 supply zones actually right there. And we're going to strike as soon as price opens, right? I mean, once price opens, and then we're going to strike either bullish or bearish. Okay, there we go. So price just ran, right? This is a lot of pips here. Let's just look at this for a second. Right there, you can see that's 27 pips in one entire move, right? Rather than all these, this would have taken you quite a while. So something like this is very amazing. Now, what I'm going to do here, obviously, is wait for prices to get there. Either price to get to the supply zone or the demand zone, right? We're approaching a break of structure. right there. Now, after price opens, price is very liquid. Okay, there's a lot of money involved. So if I see an opportunity like this, right, I could probably do something like that because that's my next supply zone, and I can enter there, right, and then make some money from this move like this, just like that, right? So just because price opened up here doesn't mean you missed your chance, right? All these candles here, again, is very liquid, right? And you could be able to take advantage of news this way. Let's go to the next example, which would be, say, USD. Let's go to the USD one here. ICM service PMI. So we're going to go to any USD pairs. We're going to go to GBP USD, which would be here. Okay, we're going to lock that out. Okay, and we're going to go on 30-minute. All right. And then we're going to go to the calendar. We're going to see what time this was at 7 a.m. in the morning, December the 5th. So this would be December the 5th at 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay, 7 a.m. is approaching here. Okay, and then we can look at this. Look at that. Boom. That right there is news. So we're going to cut this out. Where's my mouse? There we go. We're going to cut this out, and then we're going to go and delete this, and we're going to go and backtest this, right? I just want you guys to see that this is news. Now, it's just like NFP. NFP moves more, but this, every single day news moves just about almost as equal as NFP. So if I play this, let's go on a 3-minute, right? Watch this. Boom. That's a lot, right? That's a huge move, right? So this would have been 40 pips, a 40 pip move. That's a lot, right? So if you're waiting for news, you can either put your buy stop, sell stop, right, and then wait for prices just to take you in either direction. Other than that, after news opens and moves the way it does, you can get ready for your supply and demand, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to look and see this. The price actually did not tap our order block, right? Or at least it didn't yet. But anything after this move is liquid again. So price moves to the downside, right? We're going to highlight our supply zone. You can also go down on a 3-minute, right? Look at your structure here. We're going to wait for price to get up there. There we go. There was an entry there. Excuse me, I went a little too quick there. Right, you can see there's your buy to sell candle right there. So that was your sell, right? All this would be liquid, just the same as this move here. So anything before it, there is liquidity, but not as much as this move and everything after this move. So that's what I want to show you guys. This is how you would backtest this. So you would go here and say, okay, so we had all this news release at 7 a.m., right, which is affecting the move. Then you have AUD, right? You can just keep going on and on with this. There's AUD at 4:30 p.m. So let's go AUD, right here, AUD USD, 4:30 p.m. We're going to go back on 30-minute, and it is on December the 6th. No, sorry, December the 5th. It's December the 5th. I'm going to go right here, December the 5th, 4:30, right there. Let me just make sure that it's 4:30 p.m., which would be 2:30 military time. It'd be 14:30, excuse me. So that would be right there. Okay, boom. So let's go here. Let's look at the news. I think it's this one right here. Let me just refresh that. Okay, it's right here. So look at that. So sometime, like I mentioned, there is news like this, GDP, which looks effective, right? It's not. It doesn't move anything, right? So it'll move just a little bit, but it won't move as aggressive as this. This is the other news that we're looking at right there, right? But this here is nothing.